Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sean, sometimes known as the Beast, and a little bit of a death metal thrash update. Couple of new 2025 releases and absolute classic. But we'll get to that when probably get to that one last. The 600 subscribers competition is well underway. I think we're up to, it's 13 entries at the moment, so thank you very much for everybody that's took the time to throw the name in the hat type thing. So I'll let it run until the first week in September and we'll sort it out then. So yeah, so we'll get cracked on, and hopefully there'll be something here that interests you. Now, first up is this only arrived through the door on, I'm filming this on Sunday, I think it was Friday morning it came, for I have actually had the digital version from the release date. This is another one of Evan's masterpieces. This is the incredible Costic Flem, simply entitled Demo 2025. This is absolutely hideous. It's a full-on swamp-ridden terror, just full of riffs and hooks. Obviously Evan's well known for Chest Crush as well as Costic Flem. Yeah, for me, Evan's one of those people that he can do no wrong. The things he releases, and you know, I spoke to him about the Costic Flem album we released earlier this year, and he sort of said, it was just, you know, just a bit of fun. Well, for somebody so talented, this is, I was chuffed to manage to grab a copy of this. It's an independent release. Obviously Evan is from Scotland, and yeah, it's just absolutely incredible. Now I know this is sold out. I don't know if he's planning on doing another run or whatever, but if you manage to find a copy from somewhere, or even just digitally, it's well worth listening to. It's absolutely superb. So that is Costic Flem and Demo 2025. Sticking with Costic, a slightly different format. This is Costic Wound and their Grinding Mechanisms of Torment. Again, this is a 2025 release. This is the second full length on Profound Law Records. This is sort of death metal, grindcore from the US. This, for me, is another cracking example of modern death metal grindcore with a steel toe capped boot, fully in both camps. The riffs and the sort of just the overall feel of it are it's just phenomenal. The vocals are quite growled, as you would expect. The tempo on this is pretty frantic throughout, but when it does slow down, it's glacially heavy. You know, it's not pulling any punches. It's not trying to be something that it's not. It's just a solid slab of modern death grind, or whatever other category you feel obliged to stick it in. It's absolutely fantastic release, and I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up on the end of your list somewhere. So that is Costic Wound and their Grinding Mechanisms of Torment. The second full length out on Profound Law. Oh, we got digital. I didn't realise that was in there. If you can, that'll focus. Please feel free to use it. So, next up we are going slightly old school in regards to the band, but a new release. This is the mighty Teutonic thrash masters Sodom and their 2025 album The Arsonist. This is actually their 17th studio album out on Steam Hammer Records. Sodom are one of those bands that I don't own everything by, but what I do own is you know, some of my favourites. Now, track, I think, is it the first track or is it maybe Trigger Discipline? I believe that was released as a single, and there was lots of comparisons to Slayer. Now, I didn't listen to any of it before the album was actually released. I prefer to listen to it, you know, as a whole, and it might be something to do with the way that Tom sings on this, that the comparison to Slayer is so prevalent, especially on that track. But just on Black Wax, yeah, it's what Sodom do better than a lot of people. It's proper old school thrash metal with, it's sort of like that uncompromising Sodom vibe. The you know, that catchiness, the hooks that sort of grab hold of you and memorable. I mean, the artwork's absolutely superb. I did look up to see who the artist was, and I put to make a note of it. Amateur hour in it, but yeah, I mean, would I say it'd be on the end of the year list? Probably not. However, it is a really good listen, and it's just, you know, it's Sodom doing what Sodom do better than a lot of people, and it sort of makes me think, yeah, I need to get the rest of their catalogue. So that is Sodom and their 17th full length, The Arsonist. Next up is a band and an album that I really enjoy, but there's yeah, we'll get into it. This is Cancer and their 2025 release Inverted World. This is only their 5th full length out on Peaceville Records. Cancer of death thrash from the UK. The reason I enjoy this album so much is the massive thrash metal vibes that come off it. Yes, it's obviously, it is a death metal as such, but there's just a proper feeling of thrash metal throughout that drags me in. Most of the songs are quite formulaic, I would say, and the sound is quite, you know, it's nothing special. My one slight criticism, as it were, is some of the lyrics are very much cheesy is the wrong word, but very yeah, not a lot of thought gone into it. It's not being deep and meaningful or anything like that. Because I can't remember which song it is. I think it's the second track, Until They Died, when one of the lyrics is something along the lines of stab them with a bayonet until they're dead. And I thought, yeah, there hasn't been a lot, but the way it's sort of like dragged out the sentence, and I was like, yeah, there's not much thought gone into that, is there? But this is the perfect album to stick on in the background if you're busy. You know, it's certainly not an essential own. I'm glad I own it. If I'd have listened to it prior to buying it, I might have waited a little bit and bought it when it drops in price, which it inevitably will. But yeah, it's Cancer doing. I read a review where they were trying to compare Cancer to Bolt Thrower and saying how much, you know, how far superior Bolt Thrower were. Well, that's like comparing, I don't know, Slayer to Sacred Reich. They're both in the same genre, but they're not on the same level. So, you know, it's a little bit of an unfair comparison. But yeah, anyway, so that's Cancer and their Inverted World. Now, the next one is the Stone Cold classic Hours. I mentioned at the start. And I bought this up at Beatdown Records maybe 8 weeks ago, something like that. And the gentleman that runs the shop said, I can't believe you haven't got that. Well, I didn't have, but I do now. This is Pungent Stench and Bean Cork Buttering. This originally came out in 1991. This is the 2018 reissue on Back in Black. There's a lot of people spoken about this in great detail that will do a far better job than I ever could. But what I will say is, from the very first opening salvo of Shrunken and Mummified Bitch, you know that you're in for something special. What makes this stand out from a lot of death metal albums? It's just on black wax with the gent snogging himself. Yeah, what makes this stand out for me from a lot of death metal albums is the fact that it's a mix of styles and genres, all sort of wrapped up in the stench. Their unique take on it. Track, is it Games of Humiliation? That is just pure death doom from start to finish. But you also get the sections that's grindcore, there's sections that could be described as sort of 70s hard rock. You know, it's just a very, very what's the word? I was going to say diverse, but it's not really diverse, because at the heart of it is just pure Pungent Stench death metal. It's just, since I bought it on vinyl, this is rapidly becoming one of my favourite albums of that era. It's been spanned a hell of a lot since I got it. And like I said, I would think if you're watching me waffle shit about music, then chances are you've already heard this countless times and you've already got your own opinions of it. So, but yeah, so that's happy to finally have, even though it is only a re-release, reissue, whatever they're called, Pungent Stench and Bean Cork Buttering. But yeah, so that's it for this one. It's just a little quick sort of what I've been listening to this week, really. Obviously some of these other people have shown, especially the Costic Wound one. But yeah, definitely if you can get hold of Evans, or hopefully he does a second run of this, I would say this is an absolute essential addition to any discerning death metal music collector. So like I say, that's it for this one. Just a little bit of a daft up for it. If you enjoyed it, consider giving it a like, a thumbs up, a subscribe, a share and all that other thing. Comment, like they say on the YouTube, what's it called, the algorithm, I think, beyond me. Yeah, so I've got a black metal video planned sometime for later in the week. We've got a bit of a busy week coming up because the boy child is finally moving out, so that means I get my own music room eventually. And yeah, so that's it for this one. Look after one another, enjoy whatever music you're listening to, whatever genre of music you're listening to, and as always, till next time, cheers.